Welcome back, friends. So tonight's video is going to be a DIY weed killer 2.0. So I did a previous DIY weed killer video. I'm going to put a link to it here. If you have not seen it yet, please go back and watch that one first. So that first video had an overwhelming response, and I thank everybody for that. Some negative, very little bit, but overwhelmingly positive. And I thank everybody for that. But there was a lot of questions on there and comments of how people do their own DIY weed killer, and a lot of comments of don't use as much of this, don't use as much as that, use more of this, use less of that. So I just wanted to do a follow-up video to that, and we're gonna do another weed killer experiment with the DIY stuff with from some of the comments in the video and from some of my research after that video. But I have my notes here so I don't forget anything that I wanted to hit on this video. But first, I would just like to say, which I should have emphasized more on that first video, but this is not a spray once and you're done like your roundups and stuff like that, which are very harmful to us and our pets. This is one that you're gonna spray and it will kill your weeds, but you're gonna have to, every couple weeks, do some little spot spraying because it will come back. In the first video, there was large clumps of weeds that, like I said in there, I would typically pull them first, then spray, but I just wanted to, for demonstration purposes, show you how effective this stuff can be. So what I suggest doing is either you pull those weeds first and then spray everything. That's what I have the best results with. And then in like a couple weeks, a little bit of weeds will start sprouting and I just hit them real quick. Takes you, depending on the area you have, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. If you do not pull them first, after a couple days when they're brown and dead, I suggest pulling them then or burning them. If you are in an area where it's safe to burn them, please don't burn your house down. I'm not responsible if you do that. But that's how I do it. I pull them first, spray, and then every week, couple weeks, go by and just hit the little sprouts that come up. Let's go over some of the popular questions / comments. So there was a lot of people that said that the salt will make your soil infertile and nothing will ever grow again. Well, in my experience, my opinion, that's totally false. Now, if I dumped enough salt on there, would it do that? Probably. But for the little bit that I used and people that are doing their DIY weed killers, stuff's gonna come back. I live in central Pennsylvania and they dump a ton of salt on our roads and the vegetation along the roadways comes back every year. Will it kill the roots? No. It's not, like I said, it's not like the roundups where you spray it once and they're dead. This is something that, like I say, you're gonna have to come back every couple weeks, whatever, and just do a little touch up. Will rain wash it away? Yes, sort of. Like I said initially in the first video, look at your forecast. If there's rain that day or the next couple days, I suggest not spraying yet. If you research these DIY weed killers, they always suggest hot, sunny days to spray it on and no rain in the forecast. Now they don't say how many days, but I suggest if they're within a couple days, if there's no rain forecast, you should be good. But yes, it will wash it away initially, but if, like I say, a couple days it's worked its way in, it may not be as potent, but it will be effective. I had a person, because I have a small pond out back with some koi fish, there's a lot of bullfrogs and stuff in it, and I had somebody comment about being careful with the wildlife around the pond. I'm friends with the people that installed that pond, and they also have a company. They ship worldwide. They do pond supplies for little ponds like mine to massive ponds. And they said to use glyphosate rated for aquatic use is supposedly safe for this wildlife. And there was a comment in the video about I'm using chemical free. I should have elaborated on that because I thought most people would understand that. Somebody made the comment to the effects, in quotation marks, chemical free. Do words have any meaning anymore? What I was getting at with the chemical free is it's not the chemicals that are in your Roundups. It's normal, everyday, household use chemicals. That's what I meant by chemical free. Yes, there is chemicals in it. Water is a chemical. Okay, so that was the most popular comments, questions, other than you don't need salt, you don't need Dawn, you don't need as much salt, you don't need as much Dawn, just use this, just use that. So what I did was I went through those type of comments and I came up with 9 different variations of a DIY weed killer spray. In any one of these that I use, and I'm gonna put in the comments which ones I'm using and how much of each chemical I'm putting in each of them. And what I'm using is a 32-ounce spray bottle. So if you search, there's one of these you like, if you search it on the internet, it will show you how much to use if you want to use gallons of vinegar or whatever. But I broke it down into 32-ounce bottles where most of it, like the vinegar, I'm putting 2 cups in. But I broke it down there, and I'll put how much I used of each one in the comments. But number 1, so like I said, I'm using 9 different ones. Number 1 was vinegar, 5% vinegar. That's your canning vinegar. Epsom salt and Dawn dish detergent. Number 2, we're going to use 30% vinegar and just Dawn. Number 3 is 5% vinegar and just salt. And number 4 is going to be, I saw a lot of sites on the internet that said baking soda works great with water. So we're going to do baking soda and water. Another one that was very popular that on the internet was rubbing alcohol in water. We're going to try that. There's one with just bleach only, so we're going to try that. And then I did 2, 7 and 8 will be just vinegar, 1 5%, 1 30%, see if one works a little better. And then 9, I had one person ask me if you could replace the Dawn with Simple Green, see how that works. But those are the 9 different versions that I'm going to try. That most of these were from the video or from the initial video's comments of people saying that they use, and a couple of them are when I was researching those of how much to use, I found a couple other ones that I wanted to try. And the other question I had that was a good question was the cost. Now for vinegar, salts, and the other stuff, I just took it, because if you look like, especially Amazon will break it down, like if your vinegars, if you buy just a gallon or you're buying 4 gallons, it'll break it down the cost per ounce. The cost for vinegars, and this is for 5%, 30, 50, and 75%. 5% is around 10 cents an ounce. 30% is around 7 cents an ounce. 50% is around 16 cents an ounce. And 75% is around 1/4 an ounce. Salts, your table salt is around 6 cents an ounce. Canning salt's around 11 cents an ounce. And your Epsom salt is around 7 cents an ounce. Dawn dish detergent is around 15 cents an ounce. Baking soda is around 16 cents an ounce. Simple Green's around 18 cents an ounce. Bleach is anywhere from 6 to 10 cents an ounce. Rubbing alcohol is around 30 cents an ounce. That's pretty expensive. And the spray bottles like I'm using, they're anywhere from $1 to $4 a bottle. It depends on which one you buy, the quality you get. So that's the breakdown in the costs. There's 2 variations in this video compared to the first one that may affect our results. So when you research what to use, it always says to use it on hot, dry days with no rain in the next few days forecast. So when I did the first video, it was kind of midsummer. So like I said, we had a very wet spring and beginning of the summer, and then it just turned extremely hot and humid. We were having 100-degree days here. Right now, it's the beginning of the fall, so we have very dewy mornings, and it's not as hot and humid during the day. We're still getting up in the 80s some days, but it's not that pushing 100-degree weather and very humid like they suggest to use these in. So that may affect our results. So right now, it's in the evening, so tomorrow we're gonna go out and I'm not gonna go put in the video of mixing all these. I'm gonna have them all pre-mixed to save time on the video, but I promise I'm using the amounts that I'm going to put in the description. And then what we're going to do is we're going to spray 9 different areas. I've got it blocked off with like landscape blocks that I had laying around, so you can see the different sections. And then we're going to spray it. We're going to come back in 48 hours, see what it looks like, and then 48 more hours we're going to look at it. And if there's not much difference between the two, we're going to say that's our results. And one other thing before we go on to spraying is I thank all of you for watching. I'm just getting this channel started. I would just like to ask everybody to smash that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Before we get to the spraying and the results, if you're watching this, leave a comment below of which one of those versions of DIY weed killer you think will work the best, and or which one you don't think will work at all. So comment that down below before we go on to the next part of this video. Okay, so here's spray bottle number 1. 2 cups of 5% vinegar, an ounce of Epsom salt, 10 milliliters of Dawn. Sunglasses on for safety, and we'll put some rubber gloves on here. Second one is 2 cups of 30% vinegar and a tablespoon of Dawn dish detergent. Number 3 is 2 cups of 5% vinegar and a half an ounce of table salt. Okay, number 4 is going to be 2 cups of water and a half an ounce of baking soda. Number 5 is 2 cups of water, a tablespoon of rubbing alcohol. Number 6 is strictly bleach. Number 7 is 5% vinegar only. Number 8 is the 30% vinegar.
And I didn't mention it, but if you're sensitive to any of these odors, make sure you wear a mask.
Number 9 is 2 cups of 5% vinegar, an ounce of table salt, and around 8 milliliters of simple green. So there, we did the sprays. And I will see you guys back in 24 hours, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay guys, let's check out our little weed killing experiment here. So, I need to apologize. This is day 2, so it's been 48 hours since this happened. Last night I had 2 soccer games, so I did not get a chance to do a video on this. So the first one there was vinegar, Epsom salt, and Dawn here. And then number 2 on the right was 30% vinegar and Dawn. Number 3 was the 5% vinegar and just salt. Number 4 was just baking soda and water. That made a couple things a little brown, but that didn't do much of anything. And then number 5 was the rubbing alcohol. That didn't do anything. It was rubbing alcohol and water. Number 6 was just bleach. That did pretty good. Number 7 and 8 were just strictly vinegar. One was 30% and the other was 5%. And then number 9 was the vinegar, salt, and simple green instead of Dawn. So they all were pretty effective except for the baking soda and the rubbing alcohol. Those don't look like they did much of anything. So let's give it another day. We'll check it out tomorrow evening and see how the progress goes. Okay guys, it's been another 24 hours. Let's see what she looks like. So we're just going to remove these blocks. Okay, so we can still see the outline there of where we sprayed. So I don't think we need to wait any longer to finish this video, but I have my notes here. 1, 2, and 3 did very well for killing, and that's number 1 was Vinegar, Epsom salt, and Dawn. 2 was Vinegar and Dawn, 3 was Vinegar and table salt. So those 3 did well. 4 and 5 pretty much did nothing. That was baking soda and water, and then rubbing alcohol and water. Which, when I did a little research of different options of DIY weed killer, those 2 came up of working great. Well, I'd say they're a flop. So 6, 7, 8, and 9 also did very well. Let's see here. So 6 was bleach only, 7 and 8 were just strictly vinegar, the 5% and 30%. We replaced Dawn dish detergent with Simple Green. Okay, so yeah, so there we go. There was 9 different versions of DIY weed killer. 7 of them did great, 2 did horrible. Alright, so let's go back inside and we'll finish this video up. Okay guys, let's finish up this DIY weed killer 2.0 video. So like I said in the beginning, check out my first video if you haven't already. If you're returning after watching that one, I thank you. And hopefully I answered the questions that people had in that first video. We did a couple more combinations of the DIY weed killer. You saw the results. They all worked fairly well except for the baking soda and the rubbing alcohol one. I didn't, other than those 2, the other ones, I really didn't see one that did better than the other. Like I said, maybe one will last longer than the other one, I'm not sure. But if you're worried about too much salt, it shows you don't need salt. If you don't think you need that much Dawn detergent, or you don't need any, you don't. The vinegar alone works great. And I just wanted to emphasize, like I did in the beginning of the video, this is not your type of weed killer that you spray once and you're done. This is one that it's gonna need maintenance every couple weeks. All depends on the climate you live in and the weather you're having at that time. If there's a question I missed, leave it down in the comments and I'll get back to you. I thank everybody for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and leave us a comment down below, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.